So welcome to season 14, and this is our workshop style training program. So the goal of this session is to give you insights into what we'll be doing this season. We call this the preview class. So this is Finex Skills Hub, and this is the 14th edition of our workshop style training session. Now, the agenda is pretty simple: to talk about us, what we do, our history, the vision and mission of Finex Skills Hub, what's new this season. We'll also introduce the team to you, and then we'll walk through the season 4 brochure to answer all your questions. So that is the outline for this preview class. So please feel free, if you have any questions, we'll call in questions. Kindly mute yourself if you are not talking so that we can have a smooth run. Thank you for your time and thank you for joining us this morning. So Finex Skills Hub is a digital skills training hub. I mentioned that if you turn up at the office, it is these digital skills that would actually add value to what you do. So it is important that looking at the skills that I invoke, data analytics, financial modeling, digital marketing, design, coding, right? What we have done is we've dedicated ourselves to researching on these key skills that would help you stand out when you come to the office, right? So we train in Microsoft Office. So our mainstay is Microsoft Excel. We do Excel for work and data analytics with Excel. Okay, we also do business presentations with PowerPoint. Now, apart from these two, which we teach regularly on premise and as part of our training program, we also go to corporates or companies to teach Word, Outlook, Teams, and all the other tools, right? But when you come to us, it's mainly Microsoft Excel and then business presentations with PowerPoint. We also do data analytics with Power BI. I mentioned I was going to go into what Power BI is for those who are new to the software. It's Microsoft's business intelligence and data analytics tool. It was released officially in 2015, 2016. It's been with us for almost 6-7 years. So it's a tool for the future, especially if you handle data. It doesn't matter whether you work in finance, sales, health, sports, as long as you generate data, this tool is going to help you. The key feature in there is that if you are conversant with Excel and how Excel uses pivot tables to summarize, create charts, and all that, look at it as an extension. But this time around, powerful formulas called DAX. You can create visuals that you can share and collaborate online with your colleagues, right? You can do forecasting, a bit of data science going into the predictive analytics, and all those things are possible in Power BI. In recent years, it's come to be known as Fabric. Okay, so a larger platform that allows for machine learning and all those predictive analytics options. We'll go into that. So that is what we do. We are Microsoft people. So we do Power BI, and that's what we use for data analytics. We also do financial modeling. Last season, we did financial modeling. Now, financial modeling, especially for those in the finance space, you should be able to deliver insights quickly to your investors or stakeholders. But the way you do it is to model the real world business situation, right? We are partners or approved training providers for the Financial Modeling Institute in Canada. We've trained almost over 40 certified advanced financial modelers from Ghana, right? So if you're interested in their program, the Advanced Financial Modeler Program, the Chartered Financial Modeler Program, or the Master Financial Modeler Program, they are based in Canada and Australia, but it's a global certificate. You can get in touch. We'll give you some guidance on how to get this. Then we do low-code app development as well. So I mentioned that if you have a data-driven system, you can put apps in front of these systems. So you can create apps with Power Apps, or what we call AppSheet. Okay, so if you're using the Google platform, we use AppSheet. If you're using Microsoft, it's Power Apps. Now, these apps are important because if you want, let's say, people to enter data, right, what you can give them. It's a very easy way to collate the data. Sets, or you go on the field, you collect data. Now, instead of everybody taking laptops or taking their computers away to enter the data, you can just develop simple apps on the phone. Okay, people will use this to enter data, and then you at the back end receive the data and do whatever you want to do with it. Apart from that, you could also create apps around your role or the activities you do at the office, right? So we do a bit of that using app sheets and Power Apps, and then we do coding with Python as well. We'll be launching that public course shortly. Now, this list is not cast in stone. We'll keep researching, we'll keep adding. So very soon you'll probably see ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, and all those tools that have come to make our work easier, right? So this is our current list. Now, why should you choose Finex? Our workshop training sessions allow you to practice. So what we normally do is that we have a fine blend of people coming to us every season. So we have students, we have bankers, we have health workers, we have entrepreneurs. We like it that way. And sometimes we consciously build the community to have the mix of people that will make it very enriching for you. So we've been doing this since 2016. And what we normally do is whether you are joining us online or in person, right, we make it lively for you. What we use are case studies that we've gathered from our corporate training experience. Okay, so you've noticed that the case studies you'll be using for your Excel class are things that you can relate to. Okay, so that is why you should choose Finex, not a monologue or a lecture, but make sure that you don't speak above your heads or under you. Okay, our facilitators are certified trainers. I mentioned that we've gone through all the global exam. So there are 8 of us. All of us are advanced financial modelers. Some of us are Microsoft certified trainers. Okay, we have financial modelers and valuation analysts in our midst as well. So we've done that, and they have also gone through the training so that they can pass on what they have received to you, right? I mentioned that you join a network of learners from various industries. So the idea is that you should be able to tap from those who have applied this before, or those who have a special angle in practicing some of these topics. You get to ask your questions as well. Okay. Now, what is unique about Finex is that we give you a flexible online and in-person timetable. Over time, we realize that people have different schedules. So there are those who are free on Saturdays. There are those who are free after work. So we've done it in such a way that if you are a weekend person, you can join us. If you're a weekday person, you can join us. If you are comfortable learning from the comfort of your home, you can join our live virtual sessions at the comfort of your home. If you are the in-person type, you can come to our premise at East Legon and also join, right? So every season, we give you that flexibility. Even if you join in person and there's a challenge that you can't come, the online class is a mirror of the in-person. So you can always pick up where you left off. Even if you are traveling to another region, you can join and then complete your course as well, right? Now, what we are doing is being recorded. All our training sessions are also recorded with your questions, with all your challenges as well. Now, after every training session, what we do is that we make the video available in a Google Classroom. That's our virtual training environment. Okay, so you get to play back and then fill in all the gaps that you may have missed, including all the resources. So we'll go into the Google Classroom environment and the setup as well. Right. So then after you graduated, the exciting part about Finex is that you'll be part of our community. We have a community of about 400 people from different industries. We have a lot of fun on our WhatsApp group. So the learning doesn't stop at the end of the season. We share case studies, we discuss new features, we discuss national topics that relate to the things that we do. Okay, so that's why we have the slogan, learn, connect, and grow. So all those who graduate beyond your certificates, you are going to be part of our alumni network so that you also get updates on what we do regularly as well. So these are the reasons you should choose Finex. I hope I've given you enough reasons to choose Finex so that you can be part of this growing community. Now, this is our history. In fact, our first class had only 5 students. The picture you see in black and white was our second season, which was at the University of Ghana School, at the University of Ghana Econs Department. So a lot of faces that you see are on the call with us. So Kwame, Eric, and all the people that you see are still with us. Okay, so when we started in 2016, we started with Excel and financial modeling, and then we added on. We thank God the community has grown since 2016. So averagely in a season, we have about 40 to 50 people signing up with us. So that is how we started. Now, since 2016, beyond just growing the numbers, we've also witnessed the immense value that these tools have added to the careers of our students, right? So most likely in your office, if there's somebody who is very good at Excel or PowerPoint, the person would have passed through Finex. If you see a Finex dashboard, it's clear how it is done, right? So if you're part of us, one task that we always give you is that you go out there, you shine, and then be a good evangelist for us, right? So that is our journey since 2016. Now, for our vision, what we want to do is not to create just one Kwame or one Eric, but we want to create a growing community of digitally savvy students and workers, right? So we don't want to just have 2 people who are very good at Excel. We want an entire team in an office that is very proficient in these tools, can create models, can present easily, can analyze data with Power BI. That's our vision. And beyond just the subscription, we also are very, very happy and excited when we get feedback that you came to Finex and then this is what you've been able to achieve. There are people who have gotten promotions with just simple dashboards from Finex, and hopefully for you too, that will be your story. Okay. Now, our mission, as I mentioned, is to stand between school and work. So what we hope to achieve is that for people who are coming out of the universities, we make it possible for you to gain these skills. Truth is that our universities don't teach these things. I mean, even now that they've started it, it's not in a very structured way. Okay, so what we have even started to do is to go to the universities. So at the University of Ghana Business School, I'll mention that we have our students in data analytics program. So since 2017, we have been training students before they even graduate. So it is not just what we do at Islegon, but we go to campuses as well to impact our students with these skills, which we think will be very crucial when they come out of their universities. Now, our goal, and this goal, by God's grace, we've been meeting consistently, is to train in a year at least 400 students and workers. You understand why this is possible in the next slide. So it is just not what we do at East Legon or what we do online. There are other training platforms that we use to train people as well. So in summary, that is the vision, that's the mission, and those are the goals Finex Skills have. Now, why is it possible we can train 400 students or workers in a year? Because we have 3 vibrant communities. The first one is Excel Our Girls. Now, this is our sponsored training program. So our alumni, old students from our community, Yvonne and co, raised funds, and then we interviewed over 200 girls, selected 22 of them, and then we trained them in data analytics with Python and low-code. We've done 2 seasons, right? And we've seen the fruits. So Excel Our Girls is our own corporate social responsibility program together with Think Thrice. So we do this to be able to empower the girls. So in every season, we train about 22 of them. So that is our regular Excel our girls training program. It's just limited to girls for now, but hopefully when we get more funds, we'll add boys as well. So if you're a gentleman, just wait for us to join you soon. Then apart from our Excel our girls program, I mentioned we have the students in data analytics program. So this is our on-campus training program. Again, this is also for free. So we go on campus and then we train students. The reason we're excited about this is that these students go out there and shine. In fact, they sell us better than any of our community members. Okay. And we thank God that these students have also come to enrich our training team. So in fact, almost all our training facilitators have come from this program. Okay, so we are still doing it. We are excited. We are driven by what we have seen, the fruits that we have seen. Currently, we are only at the University of Ghana Business School, but hopefully we will extend this to other campuses in the near future. So for these students, they learn Excel, they learn Power BI, they learn financial modeling as well. And then the third platform we teach is the Finex School, this program that you are currently enrolling. So the Finex School is our hands-on training for students and workers. So when you come to us, you are coming to the Finex School. That is our hands-on workshop style training. So these are communities, Excel our girls setup, and the Finex School. Now, what's new this season? Every season, we do something new. Last season, we did financial modeling, we did Excel for work, and we did Power BI. Now, this season, what we normally do is that between seasons, we research and then look at what's trending. It's new. If you follow Microsoft, in fact, almost every month, there's something new in Excel or Power BI or any of the tools that they give us. Excel has changed a lot in the last 2 years. You have no idea. Even the calculation engine has changed, right? Same with Power BI. So Power BI has also transitioned into a very, very smooth online business intelligence tool. So what we are doing this season is to learn the new features in these tools. So over the last 4 or 5 years, we've been learning data analytics with Power BI Desktop. Now, what we want to do this season is to, beyond working in the offline version, which is Power BI Desktop, we want to help you publish your reports online. There are a lot of things you can do there, right? So imagine you've created your Power BI report and you can just generate a link so that you can share to users or embed it in your blog or your website, right? So people don't really need to get Power BI installed to access the report. Okay, that is the kind of capability we are bringing to you this season. So we'll do a bit of desktop, okay, the offline version. What is important for us this season is that we are taking everybody online so that you will learn how to publish it, embed, and then most importantly, embed it in PowerPoint. If that is one feature they introduced last year, imagine being able to embed your Power BI reports in your PowerPoint presentations. So those are some of the objectives that we have for this season. Then we are going to give our regular Excel for Work course a little upgrade. So for all those who are joining us this season for Excel for Work, yes, we are starting from ground zero. We are starting from beginner, but we are teaching with dynamic array functions. You know what dynamic array functions are very soon when Ferdinand comes in. So Excel has introduced over 20 new functions to make our work easier. So think of all the complex formulas that you see people do in Excel. Now, with these new functions and the new calculation engine, these formulas have become shorter. And that's what we want people to embrace. Because now Excel is mainly Microsoft 365. So for all our students this season, we want to give everybody a taste of Microsoft 365. So what we've done is that we'll try and set everybody up so that you come with Microsoft 365 to class, and then you use XLOOKUP, filter, reduce, scan, those very powerful, simple functions to make it easier for you. Hopefully, at the end of the season, you will know why you should not be sticking to VLOOKUP. If you are using VLOOKUP in these days, please, we are leaving you behind, right? So join us and let's embrace the new world of work in Excel. So those are the two new features that we are bringing: data analytics with Power BI with service, and then Excel for work with dynamic arrays. We'll go into details in the second session. Now, please let me introduce the team members to you, and then we'll go into the brochure and then start some hands-on presentations. So this is Bernard. So Bernard is the lead trainer at Finex Skills Hub. So Bernard is Microsoft's most valuable professional. It's a Microsoft certified trainer, an advanced financial modeler, and then a financial modeler and evaluation analyst. Beyond that, what we want to pass on to you is what we gained from this experience. That is the most important thing. So I don't do this alone. I'm here with a very solid team. So Osbert is in charge of finance at EcoCare. EcoCare is into forestry. So Osbert is an advanced financial modeler as well. Osbert has an MBA. Osbert is into logistics and operations. So with his experience, Osbert has been with us from day zero. So he'll be rubbing off the experience of you. So he's essentially our operations manager, making sure that we can learn smoothly, right? So Osbert is here with us at the hub. You meet Osbert. This is Ferdinand. So Ferdinand is the Excel guy, and hopefully you understand why he's the Excel guy. So if you have any challenges with Excel, he sees Excel differently from the rest of us. So he's a Microsoft certified trainer as well. He's an advanced financial modeler. So he will be one of the facilitators at your Excel for Work program. It helps because he's also bilingual too, speaks French and English. So if you want to learn in French, you are in a good place, right? So Ferdy will be doing the program, Excel for Work program, with Daniel. So Daniel is also in the Excel for Work program. He's also an AppSheet low-code app developer as well. So Daniel is actually a chartered accountant. So you have an added advantage getting a chartered accountant to teach you Excel for Work. So Daniel is also an advanced financial modeler. He's gathered a lot of experience with formula work. So you shouldn't have a problem at all. You'll see him in your Excel for Work class, right? So that is the first set. Now we go to the second set and we meet our ladies. You're probably wondering where the ladies are. So this is Priscilla. So Priscilla is also an advanced financial modeler. He's an Azure data scientist. So I normally do the Power BI class with Priscilla. Priscilla has a lot of experience with Power BI, Python coding. She currently is a software developer at CBG. So she'll be rubbing off that experience in our Power BI data analytics class as well. Then there is Ernest Abuaje. So Ernest is our financial modeling facilitator. Ernest is also an advanced financial modeler. He's also a fellow of the Chartered Management Accountants, hope I got that right, CIMA, right? So until recently, Ernest was in strategy at APSA, and he's gone to the US for further studies, but he's joining us online as well. He's still with us. So in the financial modeling space, that is Ernest. He normally also joins the Excel for Work program to also give angles from the financial modeling perspective. So Mr. Ernest Abuaje will be joining us from the US, Georgia, Atlanta rather, to be precise. Okay, so Ernest is here. And then we have baby last Na, ever smiling Na. So Na is a financial modeler evaluation analyst as well. So Na is part of the Excel for Work class. So she'll be handling the in-person sessions with Daniel and Ferdinand. So Na is your typical E1 teacher. So in fact, you will be very comfortable with Na's space, right? Because she's learned it from that experience. So she's able to pass it on to you, right? So you have a mix of trainers that is going to make it easier for you to learn. Then there's the Winker. So the Winker is financial modeling consultant and trainer as well. So D is a Microsoft Office specialist. He's also an advanced financial modeler, right? D has a very wide experience in the financial modeling space. He consults for local and international firms. So he's here with us at the hub, again, for Excel for work and then Power BI. Because he creates reports in these, he'll also be sharing his experience during class time, right? And then baby last is Solis. So Solis actually was the best graduating student from our Excel girls program, right? Very sharp girl. So our lady in the house is currently doing her national service. So she will also be bringing us the student's perspective, even though she's no more a student now, she's not a big woman. So Solace is also in the house. So we have the solid team to ensure that we have a fine blend, and that is how we'll be learning. You'll meet us in person if you are here, but if you're online too, you can also interact with us. So that is us. Now, this first part is to introduce Finex to you, but the rest of the session, which is part 2, is that we are going to go through the brochure. I know a lot of you have gone through the brochure. You probably have some questions. The timetable was too complex and all those things. We are going to take our time to go through that. Then we also discuss the modules. So when we say Excel for work with dynamic arrays, what topics are we going to learn? We'll discuss that. We'll also showcase the content. So Ferdinand will be going through a demo of some of the key questions that we'll be answering in Excel for work. Okay. So, and then we'll discuss logistics. How are we going to learn? If you are joining us online, it's a very, very interactive session. In fact, people have reasons to join online because it feels like you are learning in person, whether you are learning from home or not. So we'll walk through how to set up your Google Classroom, how to ask questions, how to share your screen, and all those things. So tools for learning online and in person, we'll discuss during this logistics stage, and then we'll take your questions. That's why we are here. So please note your questions. All your questions will be answered today, so that after we are done, everybody is settled. You know what you are signing up for. Maybe you decided to do one, but after we demo some of the things that we are going to learn, you probably change your mind. Okay, so we'll pause here and we'll go into the first of the 4 items on the agenda, which is a walk through the brochure. So please give me a minute as I switch. And then once we are done, we'll open up and then take questions. Thank you. Okay, please confirm if you can see the screen.
Yeah, screen is out.
Great. Okay, so this is the brochure we've sent around. I'm sure most of you have seen this for at least once. So it's practical, and the modules we are going to be doing Excel for work with dynamic arrays and then data analytics with the Power BI service. So I've gone through Finex Skills Hub. This is our typical setup when we turn up in person. So the tables are sometimes put together for discussions on case studies that we'll give you. So these are shots from our previous session. Right. I've also told you why you should join us, right? Workshop facilitators and all those things. So I'll not bore you again. So that is what we've put on this page. Now, this is our community, right? So that is Osbert and Yvonne. So Yvonne is an active member of our alumni network. In fact, a lot of our old students are here. Later, during the Q&A session, they will share their experience as well. So Excel Our Girls, the Finex Project, the Finex School, these are the 3 communities that we run our training programs on. Now, Ferdinand will be sharing his screen very soon. What we want to do in the next 10 to 15 minutes is to give you a taste of what these topics are. So we are going to learn Excel for work. Why do we call it Excel for work? Because beyond the concept, the case studies that we are going to use are practical case studies. Okay, so the examples that Freddy is going to use are all sourced from corporate space, nothing that is abstract or fictional, right? So this season, as I mentioned, since 2020, in fact 2019, Microsoft started releasing some new functions in Excel. So unique sequence, X lookup, sort by, text after, text before. These are solutions to a very difficult way we used to do things in Excel. So maybe you are not aware. So you are still stuck to these new old functions, VLOOKUP and those ones. Please, it's time to move on. So what we want to do is that we want to give you a taste of how Excel is looking now so that you embrace these new features, right? So we'll learn about how to use these new features. Freddie is going to go through some case studies with us. We'll learn about aggregation functions using switch and ifs, XLOOKUP, how it works with index match, and then we'll learn how to use let and lambda. Now, in Excel, you can actually create your own formula and function, right? So there was a video that we put on our YouTube page where for those who do pay as you earn calculation, you could actually create a function called PAYE and then use it to calculate your income tax. So you just do equal to PAYE, you put in the taxable, and then it's calculated. We'll learn all that as part of our Excel Forward program. So I'm going to go off screen, and then Freddie is going to demo all the examples and case studies that we'll be using in this season with dynamic arrays. So Freddie, if you are ready. So while Freddie sets up, please note your questions, and then we'll come for your questions very soon. Okay, so that is Freddie's screen. You'll be observing for today's session, but we'll make the workbook available to you, plus the recorded video. Okay, so what we hope to achieve in this 10 to 15-minute presentation is to bring it home, all the topics that we have promised to teach you. Okay, so the first topic that we are going to work on is tips and tricks to navigate Excel like a pro. For a new person, when you get into Excel, it can be overwhelming. So the first topic is normally dedicated to help you understand the architecture. Where is the quick access toolbar? Which one is the command tab? How do we use the alt keys? How does the control shift combination shortcuts work? Right. So we warm you up nicely in a blank workbook. Right. We'll show you how to do some tricks and tips using your keyboard instead of the mouse. So Freddie will walk us through what to expect in topic 1. Over to you, Freddie. Freddie, can you hear me?
Ready.
Hello. You can hear me. Okay. Good.
Yes, we can hear
Sorry,
you.
I have to take my. Okay, so that's fine. Let me switch to. Okay, so this season we are going to learn about the interface of Excel. Where's the ribbon? What do we call command tabs and all that. But apart from that, we are going to learn a lot of shortcuts. That is going to be handy for all of us. So very few shortcuts that we are going to learn. For example, if you are given a data and you are supposed to, uh, add border lines to it, how do we, quickly do that? So here, I can highlight this and quickly, and I do this, and within, some few seconds, I'm done, adding borders to it. Probably you are wondering how I did all this. So these are just shortcuts that we are going to learn, very soon. Okay, so for those who will join the class. So apart from that one, we also will learn, how to format, numbers as dates. All right. So just a second for me. Just a second for me. Sorry, I'm back now. Okay, so as I was saying, we are going to learn how to format, numbers so that we see the numbers as dates. So currently, I have this number here. So what people have challenge with is that sometimes you can download a lot of data, and in a particular column where it's supposed to show dates, you see only numbers. So how do we then turn those numbers into dates? So one shortcut that we are going to learn is this Control Shift 3 to convert those numbers into dates. And another one too that also people find difficult is when you have telephone numbers. Normally, anytime that you type the first zero, okay, and you type the other numbers, when you press enter, the zero doesn't show. So you need to make sure that the zero will appear. So how do we then do that? So again, we go through our stuff, and we know that in Ghana we have 10 digits. So when we come here, we just type our 10 digits, and when I press enter, you see that the zero is showing here. So imagine that you have, let's say, 10,000 or 100,000, telephone numbers, and the zeros are not appearing, and you want all of them, to appear within just, some few seconds. You can do that. I've seen people put apostrophe here and there. Those ones are very long. So you will learn the proper way of, formatting, telephone numbers. All right. So this is going to be for topic one, and we'll learn more, not just the one that I've just showed you, but we'll learn more, and we'll move to topic two. So topic two is mastering cell referencing. Bernard.
Okay, so Freddie, I got feedback that if you can zoom in a bit in your Excel workbook so that they can see the numbers.
Okay, no problem.
So you can increase the zoom. Okay. Now, so what Freddie did was to show us topic one. I mean, topic one is usually very normal, just to help you apply your shortcuts and all those things, format numbers and all. Now, this is where dynamic arrays come in topic two. If you know about cell referencing, people really get frustrated with this dollar sign business. If I want to create one formula that will travel across all cells, how do I get it done? That has changed with dynamic arrays, and Freddie is going to show us how dynamic arrays has changed this type of calculation. So Freddie, over to you.
Okay, so this is a typical case here that we have a multiplication table. Very easy. We all learn that 1 times 1, 1 times 2, and all that. We are repeating it when we're working. So here, if I give you this, to get this calculation done, I believe that what people will do is that they will do one by one calculation. Like for example, they will stand here and do 1 times 1, and they put the number here. Some will even take the calculator, of course. I mean, we've seen that in corporate settings where people use their calculator whilst they have Excel open. So what we are going to do here is we just want to write one formula, and in writing that one formula, we are going to populate the result across. All right. So how do we then do that? So this is where dynamic array will make sense to you if you understand the concept of dynamic array. So this is just one formula. So here's going to be the formula. I select this, and multiply by just this selection. So this is a formula that you are supposed to write. I know this doesn't really make sense, but when I press enter, can you see that, within, just some few seconds, all the answers are here. So we can even cross check. So if I take, 5 and I multiply by 10, so the result is going to be what? 50. So we get here 50. I take maybe 3 and I multiply by 5. Okay, the result is going to give me what? 15 here. All right. So you can see that, whatever that I did is correct here. So these are some of the things that, we are going to learn, and much more. It's not just, this, but we'll also learn using the formulas as well. So after learning the cell referencing, we move on to the next topic, which is going to be, basic calculation, okay, with conditions. So this be the next topic. So Bernard.
Okay, so over here in topic 3, as you've realized, we are still using dynamic array functions, but we are applying it to some of the basic topics and then transition you smoothly to the advanced topics, right? So if you're a new learner, you will not be intimidated, even though we are using dynamic arrays to teach these topics, right? Now, if you've joined a previous class, you probably know that when it comes to basic operations with conditions, here we are talking about some ifs, average ifs, count ifs, and all that. But if you add those functions now to dynamic arrays, your work is easier, right? So let's see how easy it is in this example. So Freddie, walk us through.
Okay, so here, very simple instruction. We have to determine, total salary for the finance department. So we are given this data, and we are supposed to calculate the total salary. So here we are going to use this function, sum ifs, and we are supposed to sum, the salaries for the department, and we need a specific department, which is going to be the finance department. So this is the function that, we can write. We can even write it, differently, but I think we'll learn how to do that, in our class. So here we want to also determine the total number of females. All right, the first one, we determine, the total number of salaries for the finance department. So we can even cross check here. So here we have just 2 departments, 2 people in finance department. So if we come here and we add, their salary, that will amount to what? 9,000, £500. And so that's how, we're able to get it. So what I've seen people do in corporates, is they'll come here and they will color code, for those who are in finance, and later they'll take their calculator and, be punching, the numbers, and bring those ones here. All right. So I mean, all these ones are fine, but we'll learn, how to use Excel proper. So let's move to the next one that says determine the total number of female employees. So here we want to count how many, female employees we have in this company. All right. So the formula to use is going to be count ifs. Okay. So we are going to count, everyone here, and if you are a female, you'll be counted. So let's see how many female we have here. So we get 3. So let's quickly cross check. So here are 1 female, another one, and here. So we have only 3 females here. So just using the function alone, we're able to determine those ones. So if you have a tall list, you don't need to, color code and be going through and counting, manually. So we can use the formulas to determine that. So this what we are going to see under the basic operation with a condition. So after this topic, we then move to the logic function, which is going to be our next topic. So Bernard.
Okay, so again, we are going to go into the new functions very soon, but to make it easier for new learners to transition, that is why we are applying dynamic arrays to the regular traditional functions. So if you know about logic functions, they allow you to, with one formula, get a lot of results in a range or cell easy, right? So as an example, if you're applying a bonus based on a certain condition, instead of doing it manually, logic functions, if and or, right, can help you calculate. But how does it behave with dynamic arrays? So Freddie will walk us through how logic functions work.
Okay, so we are giving this example where we are supposed to, apply some salary reduction due to, COVID-19. So the policy here is we need to reduce, salary that are above, 4,000 by 15%, and anything, below should be what reduced by 10%. So how do we then apply? So we have the salary here. So again, we can do this calculation one by one, but because we are learning how to use, dynamic arrays, so let's see how, we get one function, we can, quickly get, this one done. So here we type our equal sign. Again, we do select this, and here, so because we are going to use the logic function, so please don't be intimidated by whatever that I'm writing. For now, you may not understand it, but this is, what we are going to teach you so that you understand what I'm doing right now here. So we have this. So if I press enter, it's going to, populate, through. So let me press enter, and I get this. So you can see that I didn't write any of the, subsequent, formulas, but I was able to get, the response for those ones. So let's even cross check, let's say for this one. So this one is above, no, it's not above 4,000. All right, it's not above 4,000. I mean, 4,000 is not above 4,000. So which means that, the reduction is going to be what? 10%. So 10% of 4,000 is what? Is going to be 400. So 4,000 minus 400, we get exactly, 3.
Hi, Fred. And Freddy, sorry to interrupt. Could you please zoom in a little bit more so that we can see the figures well?
Okay, sorry, let me do that. I hope this is better.
Yes, much better.
Okay. All right. So basically, this is the formula that I wrote. Okay. A very, very simple formula. It looks a bit intimidating, but if you understand it, you see that it's not really complicated. All right. So this is our objective. Learn how to write, better formulas. All right. We can even write it, with a simpler way, but for now, this what we are going to show. And in the subsequent session, we are going to do something a bit simpler than this one. All right. So after doing the logic function, we then move to our lookup function, how to look up values. So this is going to be our next topic. So Bernard.
Okay, so again, this is like the fifth traditional function area, looking up information. But I mentioned that in Finex, we don't do VLOOKUP. So new features like SMatch, XLOOKUP, index and match can be combined very well with dynamic arrays. Now you realize that all the formulas that Freddie is doing, he didn't have to drag down. Just one formula just populates all the cells and creates what we call an array. So you pay close attention to how easy it is to look up information with this one, index and XMatch, right? You could also do that with XLOOKUP and filter, but we'll go into the new functions shortly. So Freddie.
Okay, so let's write a formula. So here, we have this data. Okay, so these are student records where we have name, gender, department, GPA. So if you are given, a particular student ID, we want you to be able to bring out the name, the gender, the department, and the GPA of the person. So here again, because we are using dynamic array function, so what we are going to do is that we just want to write just one formula, okay, and populate, for the rest. We don't need to do for gender, for department and GPA. So let's see how we can achieve that. So we do that using index and X match for those who have the X match. So I have this one here. So this is the function that I've written. So looks a bit complicated, but if you understand the concept, there's nothing much to this. So index and X match, X match. So when I press enter, you see that, sorry, I think I did a wrong selection. Let me check that. Okay, so let me take this one again. So equal to index, and I'll pick here. So X match. Okay, so that's the formula. So let me press enter. So when I press enter, you see I have this. So for a student with the ID SR105, the name is Maurice Sampao, male marketing, GPA is 2.9. So if I change this to another, let's say to the first one, I get Ahmed Bar male account and 3.6. So let's quickly cross check. So we can see that, for the student ID SR101, we get Ahmed, we get male account and GPA. So basically, this will we have for the lookup. We have, apart from this one, we are going to also use filters, X lookup, and all that. We'll learn how to do some of those ones. All right. So when we are done with our lookup function, so we then move to how to manipulate and clean data. Okay. So we have a typical data here. So how do we clean those ones? So Bernard.
So this is where we start using the new functions. So maybe I've been wondering, but I know these functions. I know index and all those things. It is at this point that you see how powerful the new functions are. If you are given data like this, maybe you download data from your software and it comes with empty spaces after every entry. What can you do to clean the data, okay, and then make some changes to it? In fact, some of the new functions, you don't really have to go, would have done a Power Query, which is a bit more advanced, but with these new functions, it's very easy to manipulate data and clean up data. So Freddy will demonstrate how these new functions work with some of these examples. So Freddy.
Okay. So as Bernard said, you downloaded your data, and unfortunately, it came with these empty rows and all that, and you are supposed to clean this data for you to be able to work with it. So at the end of the day, we want to be able to get maybe, let's say, top 5 transaction based on this data, but we can't work with this data in the current state. So we need to transform it and remove all the empty. So there are various ways we can do it, but let me start with some of the new function that we are going to learn. So there is a function called to row. All right, so something that we are going to learn. So I do this, and I select my data here, and with the function. So this is the function. So the first function. So this one is just going to give me a tall list. So let me just press enter, and I get a tall list like this. But this is not how I want it. So let me just copy. I'm going to cut it and bring it here. So When I do, what I want is to wrap this. So I'm going to have another function called wrap row. Okay, so when I do this, so let's see how the magic happens. So here you can now see the same data, but this time around without any space. Okay, without any space, it's the same data. So if you take the first row, you can see that is exactly the same as what we have here. All right, and the second row, which is this one here, becomes the second row in here. All right, so basically, so now after cleaning this data, we then need to extract, let's say, the top five customers, or the top five products, and so on and so forth, based on the price. So here, as you can see, here is the price, the unit price. Okay, so to be able to achieve that, we need to sort this one, uh biggest number to the lowest number. So how do we then do that? So there is a function called sort. So we can use sort. So we use sort, and we pick the clean data that we have here. So this one. Okay, and we are going to sort based on the last column, which is column 5. Okay, and we are sorting it in ascending order. Sorry, descending order. So when I do this and I press enter, you can see that now all the numbers are now arranged in in descending order, so biggest to smallest. All right, but here we want to take only what the top 5. So here we need to cut it and just say, okay, we just need top 5. So there is another function called take. So we wrap it around this and we say top 5, and it give us the top 5. All right, so here we have the top 5. Then again, we don't need all the columns. We just need the delivery dates, the customer name, and the unit price. But currently it's giving us all the columns, so we can use another function, okay, call choose course here, and wrap this and say, okay, I want the first column, comma, the second, and the last one, which is column 5, and I close this. So when I press enter, you see that I then have just those columns, and the other ones are gone. So basically, these are some of the functions that we are going to learn, and much more. The objectives for this season is to make sure that we really use the potential of Excel. Don't use Excel and a calculator. Use Excel to do all your calculation. No more calculator again. So you'll be able to write better formulas and all that. So basically, don't be intimidated by whatever that I've done, because that's exactly what you are going to learn. So I think we are going to pause here for any question, if any.
Okay, so Feli, before we go to the questions, again, the functions we are going to learn are the new dynamic array functions. But we also appreciate the fact that there are people who are learning for the first time with us. But don't go off yet. So what we have done is to make it easy for the new people to transition with a dynamic array, while also making sure that the old students who are joining us also get something to take away. So you realize that we started with just the introductory topics, an overview, lookup, logic, and all that. And then we go into the dynamic array functions. Now, Freddie, please show the workbook. So mention the different new functions that we are going to be using, okay, so that people get an idea that these functions exist, and then they can help you do the things that. So in terms of the list of functions, please walk us through quickly the kind of functions that we are going to learn in this new season.
Okay, so I hope you can hear me. So
Yes, we can.
this is the workbook that we are going to use. So let's quickly go to the table of contents, and I'll walk you through the other ones. So as Bernard said, we are going to start with some very basic things. the Excel overview and all that, and learn how to use cell referencing and understand the behavior of dynamic arrays. So that would be the first topics, and after that we now dive into some of the function that we are going to learn. So here we have text after, text before, text plates, unique, and we are going
So
to.
please zoom in a bit. Please zoom in for me.
Okay, let me zoom in. I hope you can see my.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I said, after learning the overview, we then go into learning the functions. So the very function that we are going to learn, we have text after, text before, we have a unique, and then we then move to two row, two call, wrap call, wrap rows, v stack, h stack, choose call, choose row, take and drop, sort by. These are some of the functions that we are going to learn. And after that, we'll also learn how to perform sum analysis using the normal sum, average, count, mean, sum is, max ifs, count ifs, and all that. We move to the logic functions. So here with the logic function, I believe some of us know about if. Okay, so we want to introduce switch. That can be an alternative for if. And apart from that, we have also the ifs, okay, that we are also going to learn. So how do we assign value based on condition? And then we jump into our lookup functions. So index, x match, x lookup, and filter, okay, for the lookup functions. And after that, we move to that's where we are going to end how to perform powerful calculation using let and the lambda helper function. So the lambda helper functions, the one that we are going to learn are by row, by column, scan, and reduce. There are other functions, all right, but we want to take them gradually so that this is going to be the very first season where we do a lot of dynamic arrays function. So we want to take it step by step. Maybe the subsequent season will do more of those ones. By that time, we believe that people would have mastered these ones already. So basically, these are some of the things that we are going to do. So Bernard.
Okay, so thank you, Freddie. So as I said, whether you are a new learner, you're a continuing student, or you're an advanced Excel user, you will have something to learn this season, right? I recall that I shared this poster on the functions that you can identify, right? So this is the poster that was shared, right? Now, at least some of these are now coming in now. So after this season, you should learn how to use X lookup, filter, to call, to row, let lambda, wrap row, wrap call, how to use scan and reduce, right? So while the old functions are important, Microsoft Excel has actually moved on. But we also know that people are learning it for the first time. So we'll start with the introductory topics and then add the dynamic arrays bit to it, and then gradually transition you to the new functions. As I mentioned before, all those who are enrolling for this season's Excel class will get access to Microsoft 365 license. We don't want you to work with your old license. So as part of the activities to get you set up, we would install the M365 license, okay, at least a temporal license for you to use. After the class, if you are interested, maybe you want your company to get a license for you, we'll give you some guidance on how to achieve that. So please don't get stuck with the old ways. Join us and let's take advantage of these new functions to work smart. We'll take your questions for Excel at the end of the Power BI intro. So please let me quickly transition to the data analytics with Power BI, and then we'll use the rest of the time for questions. So thank you, Freddie. So the next module is data analytics with Power BI. Some of us are very new to this subject, right? So I'm going to use the next 5 to 10 minutes to break it down for you, right? So basically, data analytics is the ability to get raw data, clean it, analyze it, and then share insights with your users. Now, data is the new thing, but it comes not in a good way. It comes in black and white sometimes. When you download data from your system, your ERP, it's all in a mess. But how do you move from that black and white messy data to an insightful report? So that is what we are going to be learning. Power BI is a clear leader in the business intelligence and data analytics space. So if you are a master Power BI user, you are in a good place, right? In fact, when you turn up at any office, I realized that when Power BI started, a few of the banks had it, but now a lot of the companies, in fact, in the last 1 month, for those on our platform, we've shared a lot of Power BI vacancies, right? Ghanaian companies are waking up to it, and you understand why. So the first thing we are going to learn is to how to get data. Get data sounds very simple, but with Power BI, you can actually connect to any data source. Okay, so if your data sits in the cloud, it sits in folders, it sits in servers and all those things, you can connect Power BI to it. So we are going to be going through 5 steps to learn Power BI. The first one is what we call the ETL, how to extract data, how to transform data, and how to load data. Now, the reason this is important is that if you're on a schedule and then you always have to create a monthly report, what Power BI can do is that it uses a tool called Power Query to connect to your data source and then do transformations for you one time. Now, these transformations, you will not be doing it again in a new month. So if you are removing columns, merging columns, and all those things, Power Query can do that and then record the steps for you. Okay, so we'll learn how to extract data and then transform data. That's the first step. You'll be working with many tables in the typical corporate environment. You will learn about data modeling. Data modeling essentially is how to connect many tables to give you like one source of information, right? There are tables that give us transactional data. There are tables that give us categorical data, right? So we'll learn how to connect all these tables, especially for accountants. You know, you have your ledger, you have your journal, and then maybe you have different registers of products, customer lists, locations, and all those things. Power BI allows you to connect all these tables together to make it easy for you to work, right? Then you learn about calculations, very simple calculations using the language we call DAX, data analysis expressions. So if you know sum, average, and those things, you can do the same thing in Power BI. So in Power BI, we use DAX to calculate total sales, average sales, year-to-date sales, previous years, growth, and all those things, right? So we'll learn how to use DAX to calculate. And then the part that excites people is the visualization. So here, we'll learn how to create very nice reports. I'm going to show you examples very soon. Now, in the past years, we've been doing the first 4 very well. Power BI Desktop is free. You can install it and use it, right? But the challenge comes when you have to publish your report or make it available. What we are adding this season is the option to publish your report, right? Now, when you publish your report, you have many options. You can publish your report through online to the web. So there are 3 options and more. When you publish your report can sit online. Now, what this means is that you can just show a link, okay, generate a link and then send it to your boss, click on it, and then he will just access your report on the go. In fact, there's even the Power BI apps. So with an app, your boss can even review your report in Dubai if he wants. There's also the option to embed your reports in PowerPoint and Power Apps. I'm going to show you an example very soon, right? And then you have the option to also collaborate. So if your company has a license, instead of sending the same report back and forth, right, you can just let your colleagues tap into your report and then use it to report on different angles and all that. So what we are doing this season is that we are adding Power BI service to Power BI Desktop. again, everybody is going to get license to the Power BI service. So you don't really have to buy this as part of your sign-up fee so that you can get an experience of the Power BI service and how it works. Now, I'm going to show you how Power BI looks like, but these are some of our previous works. So we did an HR dashboard in season 10. Okay, so this is an HR dashboard. And then we did this simple sales dashboard that allows you to report on actual and budget, see your top customer, your top product, profit margin. Okay, allows you to drill through to see your top products and then your best customers per region, right? All these are possible in Power BI. So if you're into data and you have to report, please, you can start from scratch. You don't have to be overwhelmed, right? We don't make any assumptions. Everybody is coming in right from installation all the way to this finished product. Now, I'm going to ask a quick question, and then I want people to be a bit honest. This report that you are looking at, what software do you think it is? Is it PowerPoint or Power BI? Anybody? Put your comments in the section.
Looks like Power BI.
It looks like Power BI. Okay, anybody? It's actually a mix of Power BI and PowerPoint. And that's what we are going to learn this season. So imagine I have 10 regions here. Okay. And I'm supposed to give a presentation on the performance of each region. Right. Instead of creating 10 slides and then presenting the performance of each region slide by slide, I can create the report in Power BI and then embed it in PowerPoint. So what you're actually looking at is a PowerPoint slide, but the interaction is still there. So even the animation that you see is coming from Power BI. Okay. Then in this AI age, you see that you can even get a summary of the key performance of the region that you have selected. Okay, giving you some insight. So your top customer is here, your top product is here, and all these respond to the filter that you select. So if you're doing a presentation, what is happening now is that instead of switching between a lot of slides and all those things, you can create that Power BI report, publish it to service. Okay, so I'm going to show you the original Power BI report. This is the original Power BI report. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so I can create this in Power BI, right? And then publish this to the service and then embed it in my PowerPoint, right? So whatever insights that I want my boss to get in just one slide, I can just interact with it. So that's our case study. Now, there are some new features that they've added that we want to explore, right? In fact, the option to clear all slices is now available. So if you have many slices available, you can clear, right? You see that now our cards are animated, right? So I can select a particular region and then go through and then see which region did well with ticks. Okay, so if I go, let's say to 2018, you realize that in Bronga Half, they met the target. So there's a smooth transition tick, exclamation mark for those that didn't meet it, right? Those who were able to meet the profit margin, right? All these are interactions that you can put in, right? Now, features like the card and slices have become very nice, right? So we are going to learn how to even bring in animations inside your Power BI, right? So that is the kind of learning that we want to do. Now, they've introduced things like calculation groups, semantic models, and all those things to make it easier. But don't be overwhelmed. We'll take it from scratch. And then we'll move you from that data stage all the way to creating a very simple report like this. So that is our journey for Power BI. I'm sure once you start, you should find these reports very, very easy to create. And we are here to help you so that at least you can add some value to your work. Now, so that's what we'll be doing in the Power BI space. So you learn how to get data and then all the way to collaborate online and embed your reports in PowerPoint. So now we've covered this, let's quickly go through the rest of the brochure, and then we'll take your questions. So for all these, the subscription is 1,500 per module, right? So if you're doing Excel, it's 1,500. If you're doing data analytics, it's 1,500. But if you are doing the two, then we'll give you a discount. So you pay 2,500. You can take advantage of that discount and then save some 500 Ghana cedis. Okay, if you give us referrals to give you a 10% discount, right? So that is the subscription plan. Now, the learning is for those who are joining us for Saturdays, we'll be doing 5 sessions or 5 meetings per module. So let me break it down. If you're doing Excel, on Saturdays, you'll be here. So you have 5 sessions. Okay. Now, this is the timetable. So you can join us either on weekdays or on Saturdays. So there are essentially 2 tracks. If you choose to join us on Saturdays, then please stick to the Saturdays.
Hi,
Choose to join
Ben.
us
Sorry,
weekdays.
could you please zoom
Yes.
in
Okay.
a little bit more,
So
please?
I'll say a bit more. Okay. Okay. Is it better?
Yes, much better.
Okay. So if you are joining us, there are 2 tracks. You can join us on Saturdays, or you can join us on weekdays after work. Now, if you join us on Saturdays, then you do 5 Saturdays. So we are not counting this session. So topic 1 will be next week. Today, we are going to help you install the Microsoft 365, okay, and then get settled so that you come ready for topic 1. So next meeting is topic 1, and then we do 5 Saturdays from there. Now, for the Saturday class, you can join us online or in person. Now, if you are joining us online, Saturday morning, we'll be doing Excel for work. So those who will be joining online would join their Google Classroom, and you'll be doing Excel for work from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, right? So we'll have breaks in between to help you stretch a bit and all that. Then while the online people are doing the Excel for work, in person on Saturday morning, we'll be having data analytics with Power BI. Okay. So if you signed up for the 2, don't worry. What it means is that when you come in person, you do Power BI first. Okay. And then we'll have an hour break. So after 12, we have 1 hour break. Okay. For those who are doing the 2 modules, we'll provide some lunch for you. Okay. To get some energy to go back. Then when we resume, we'll swap. So the online people will now have their Power BI class from 1 to 4. And then the in-person people will have their Excel for work class here. Okay. So that is the timetable for Saturdays. Please note that. So virtual and in-person is a swap. Okay. Then if you are doing weekdays, the meeting time is 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays. Now, if you are doing virtual, Monday and Tuesday will be your class for Power BI. So 6 to 8 p.m. we meet online and then we get this done. So Mondays and Tuesdays, data analytics with
Hi,
Power
Ben.
BI. Yes, Solis.
I'm so sorry to interrupt again. Could you please rewind a little because we lost our connection? So the people in the classroom didn't really hear much of what you said. So just a little back.
Okay, what was my last
think,
point? The last one you heard.
You had explained that for people that will come in on Saturdays, they will have 5 sessions per module. And I think you were just going to go into details about it. Just a brief.
Okay, so yeah, so a brief on the Saturday option. Saturday option, as I mentioned, you have 5 Saturdays, not counting today. Today is a preview class. So what we are going to do is that you meet 9 a.m. to 12. So when you are in person, the first class is data analytics with Power BI in person. While they are doing that, Excel for Work is going on online. Okay. Then we would have a break, okay, for those doing 2 modules to help you carry on, give you lunch. Then you will convene again at 1 o'clock. Online for Power BI starts from 1 to 4, and then Excel for Work starts in person from 1 to 4. So it's made this way so that you can comfortably do 2 modules, okay, if you want to, right? So it's not going to be overwhelming. You're just going to be here from 9 to 4 every Saturday. Then for the weekday, we'll have Monday to Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. But then it depends on the module you are doing. So if you are doing Excel for Work, then you come to the hub 6 to 8 p.m. after work for in-person. While they are here in person, our online class for Power BI is also going on from 6 to 8 p.m. Right? If you have signed up for the 2, we'll swap on Wednesday and Thursday, and then Excel on. Right? So at this point, I think I'll take your questions, and then I would connect the rest of the logistics with the questions later. Right? I'll be doing a lot of the talking this morning. I want to hear you. So please feel free and post your questions, raise your hand, and then I would take your questions. So if you have any questions, please.
Hello, Bernard.
Feel free. Yes.
Yeah, hello,
Valerie.
hello,
We totally lost you on the timetable. When you got to, after the Saturday and the weekday, we totally lost you on it. So I don't know if you can just recap that for us. Thank you.
Okay, so apologies. Let me take that. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So let me take the timetable bit again. I'm saying there are 2 tracks: weekdays after work or Saturdays. So if you join us on weekdays and you're doing Excel for Work, Monday and Tuesday, you will be doing data analytics with Power BI online on Monday and Tuesday, right? Don't worry if you have signed up for Excel. Your Excel class will be Wednesday and Thursday. I hope that is clear, right? So if you are doing virtual weekdays, then this part of the timetable: Monday, Tuesday, Power BI, Wednesday, Thursday, Excel for Work. If you are doing in person on weekdays, Monday, Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m., you are doing Excel for Work. And then Wednesday, Thursday, you are doing Power BI. Please, I hope this part is clear for those who are doing weekdays. So you can achieve the 2, whether in person or weekdays. Is that okay? Okay.
Yeah,
Then for those doing Saturdays, again, if you are doing online or virtual, your class is 9 to 12 Excel for Work online, and then 1 to 4 data analytics with Power BI online. That's for virtual on Saturdays. And then if you are doing in person on Saturdays, your class is in the morning here at East Legon, Power BI 9 to 12, and then 1 to 4 Excel for Work. We've done it this way so that you can join us online and in person, okay, or you can switch between weekday and Saturdays if you want the weekday option. But I'm saying that if you stick to weekdays, please stick to weekdays, but you can switch online and in person. That's for weekdays. If you choose Saturdays, stick to Saturdays, but you can switch between in-person and virtual, right? So that is the timetable. So hopefully it clarifies all your questions so that everybody can learn, whether you are in Accra or not, whether you prefer in-person or online, everything is in here. We have 8 facilitators to make this happen for you. So don't worry at all. Please, is the timetable clear?
Yeah, okay. Hello, Bernard.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Bernard. Yeah, this is Evans.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
My issue has to do with the registration. I registered for data analytics with Power BI, but on my receipt, I realized that they've done it Excel for work.
Okay, no problem. Please, I've noted it. We'll send you the correction.
Okay. All right. And I also want to congratulate you for the good work you are doing. I think it's a powerful platform. So.
Thank you. We thank God. So, I mean, it's feedback from
All right.
people that with us, and then our solid alumni network that has made Finex Skills Hub come this far. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you, Ivan. So, I'll take sustenance.
So for me, yeah.
Okay, Ivan, so you conclude. Please go ahead.
Okay, so for me, I will be doing the weekdays. So it means that for Power BI, I'll be attending Mondays and Tuesdays. Is that correct?
If you are doing in person, then your class for Power BI is going to be, I be in person or online?
Online.
Online, very good. So it means your class is going to be Monday and Tuesday. Excellent. So that's how your class is going to be. Okay. Now I'll take your questions. I'm going to show you. Go ahead.
For the 8 meetings, right?
Yes, for the 8 meetings. So you do twice a week for 4 meetings, 4 sessions. Sorry, 4 weeks.
Okay.
So twice a week for 4 weeks. Right. That will be the 8 meetings. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and the same link you shared, is that it?
No.
Okay.
So after the questions, I'm going to show you how to access your classrooms. So for those who have signed up, you will be receiving classroom codes. Okay, so that's the last thing I'll touch on before we round up the preview class. We'll be sending classroom codes based on what you have signed up for. So I will take the last few minutes.
Then you have to do my corrections for me.
No problem. I mean, I've noted it, so it shouldn't be a problem at all.
Okay.
So just relax. Yeah. Okay. So thank you. Okay, I'll go to sustenance.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Bernard. So obviously, it looks exciting seeing the displays, or to say the intros that you have done. What it does is to tickle you to want to do both. But of course, some of us may be very new to Excel or may not even be advanced at all in Excel. So taking Excel for work in Excel is going to be from the scratch. Do you think it's advisable for anybody who may not be any much knowledgeable in Excel to be able to take the tool? Would it be advisable, or would you rather the person goes through Excel and then can take the Power BI later?
Okay, so good question. I am currently on the Finex Skills Hub page, YouTube channel. So the question that you've asked, we've thought about it. And what we have done is this. We've taken time to create 12 videos. So please note this very well. So if you come to search for Finex Skills Hub, we are almost 10 subscribers short of 6,000 subscribers. Please subscribe so you can get a notification. Here, a lot of learning happens. Now, for those joining us, what we've done is that if you come to the playlist, okay, we have created 11 videos. So there's a playlist called Excel for Work Virtual Learning, right? Now, this playlist has topics from overview of Microsoft Excel all the way to pivot tables. This list is supposed to complement what we do in person and online, live. Right? Now, that's the advantage you have in Finex. You see, when you meet us for the live sessions, our goal is to take your questions and feedback and give you a solid foundation. But we'll be supporting you with videos pre, during, and post. Right? So, in fact, I'll about 20 of our alumni.
The line is breaking.
Will testify. You are very understand my line is breaking. Today, dear. I don't know. Pardon me. Let me switch again. There are 3 options we have here. So,
I think I can hear you now.
Okay now. I think it's okay now.
can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes, I think so.
Okay. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll fix this. In fact, right from here, we'll call them in to address what's happening. We don't normally get these issues, but okay. So I was saying that the question was, how do new Excel users get into learning Excel and the dynamic arrays? So I was saying that if you come to our YouTube channel, Finex Skills Hub, okay, what we have, I realized that as I was talking, we've hit the 6K subscribers. Thank you. So if you come to the playlist here, there's Excel for Work virtual training, right? We know that people are new to, okay, so we've taken time to put all the topics together. In every topic, you find a download link for practice. So in fact, before you come to the class, take your time and then walk through these videos. It will help. When you meet us in person, what we do is to take your questions and give you a good foundation, right? So to answer the question, Sosteners, if you are new, we've already provided you some videos to help warm you up. One thing that will be helpful is that if you watch these videos and come to class, you can come and ask your questions, right? So that is for those who are doing Excel. Excel for Work virtual training, please. There are 11 videos from overview and shortcuts all the way to pivot tables, right? Now, if you come to the same playlist, for those who are doing Power BI, okay, yours is also here. What we have done is that if I just before the class started, we record a complete Power BI beginner's case study. Okay, so this is a 2-hour, 45-minute step-by-step video to help you understand what the concepts are, right? So it is to help you get prepared before you come to class, right? So that you can come and meet your teachers and then we discuss your questions. That's the workshop style we talk about, right? So please, if you are new to Excel, in Finex, we've seen people even come with blank computers, and they have not even touched Excel before. You walk through the installation, but you have to meet us halfway, because as for the resources, you'll be overwhelmed, right? Videos, PDFs, WhatsApp broadcast lists, once a week videos, and all those things. We provide that. So that is the answer. If you're okay with that, you shouldn't be intimidated at all. We have the resources to help you transition smoothly.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. So we know people come from different backgrounds, so don't worry at all. And there are 8 of us, so you can always catch us between breaks and all that to just fill in the gaps for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Bernard, if I may ask, what's the youngest student you've had, or how young can someone how young can someone be to start the Excel training?
Okay, so the youngest student we had was Echampong. She joined us 2 seasons ago. She's a high school student in Israel, Ghanaian, and she actually rubbed shoulders with the big shots. Was an excellent student. She's 15. Oh, yes, she was 14, turning 15. But I understand where this question is coming from, whether children can join our program. We are developing something special for children under 12 years, because my daughter is already learning Excel, and I know that if you don't restrict children, there's a lot they can explore in Excel and Power BI. So if it is a program for children, we are working on something very soon. We'll launch it, and then we'll find out how to catch them young. But I think the youngest we've had is who was 15 years.
Okay, thank you.
Right, I was in your class, right?
Hello, Bernard.
Yes, I was in my class.
So Ifa is an old student.
And we only got to know she was that young on the last day when we were introducing ourselves. We didn't even realize it. So
So she joined Ifa's class in Power BI, and fantastic student. She asked questions and all that. They only got to know she was 15 at the last day. Yes, Valerie, please go ahead.
Does it apply to data analytics as well? If you've never had any experience with it that apply, do you have to know before, or you would have to wait to?
So, like I said, whether Excel or Power BI, please, we are not making any assumptions for anybody. So from Power BI, we are starting with installation. Okay, so you don't have to get any experience to turn up. By midterm, everybody will be in the same place. Okay, so don't worry, feel free, come with your blank computers.
Okay.
And then, okay.
Thank you.
I'll take Xavier, and then I'll go to Felix.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Ben. I was almost gonna just unmute my mic anyway. Looks like the loudest, in Ghana. Yeah, the louder you are, you get set. Anyways, yeah. But first of all, I think just as the others have said, I think this is very laudable. I mean, everyone says Excel is powerful and all that, but I think when I say it's laudable, I'm talking about your presentation, because I got here from watching an Excel video. So I think how you convey, these are complex stuff, and even look at your presentations, especially the Excel that the one presenting on the Excel for work, the Excel he presented there, how the data is presented is neat, and I like the use of all those tiny features that like convey the message using arrows and underlining in a special way. So I think some of the things you share, you might have to like look for several videos and then like find it in the middle somewhere And these are the things we are looking for. I think sometimes a bunch of the videos you find, they are now going to take you through something very generic, but it looks like you know what we are looking for, especially when you are working with data, maybe in a work setting, yeah, etc. And I'm excited, and I hope we are going to be able to ask like very practical questions, because I've had some data that I'm dealing with. I'm like, I want to do this, but like, I don't know. I had to use several combinations or look around. So I hope there will be room for us to maybe say, okay, you've shown me this, but if I want to do this, maybe with this data, just so you can give a quick insight, because I think it will be very helpful. Ben.
Oh, yeah. So thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. Now, what we have been doing over the years, again, is to take feedback from our students. So even before you start the class, you're already learning. That's what we have done, right? So please, there's room for you to bring in your case studies, because in fact, the case studies you bring are the case studies we have used for our examples. I mean, a bit diluted and watered down. So yes, there's room for you to bring and run your case studies by us to enrich the learning, right? So thank you for that.
All right. Ben, I'm not done. Yeah, that was just accolades, just to acknowledge the good work you guys are doing. So my main question is on the virtual versus the weekend. Is there is it how do I stand to, maybe is there some extra gain by coming in person, maybe coming all the way? Maybe I would say, well, because I mean, aside the lunch, of course, but I mean, in terms of the learning, is there something you would say that you think maybe someone who comes in person might gain this over this, or is it so well mirrored so that even if you do online, you still get all those advantages? Yeah, and second, and then finally, if someone is taking Excel with work, is it possible, you know, that feature with the Power BI, embedding Power BI in PowerPoint? Could you do a bonus for them, or you strictly have to be in data and analytics class? Thank you.
Okay, so online or in person, honestly speaking, I am for both, right? People have their special reasons, and we have made it possible to learn online and in person comfortably, right? So to answer the question, it depends on your learning style. But there are people who have joined us season over season, have not met in person before. One of them is BC. BC learns all the way from the UK. She's been with us for 5 years, right? I talk with BC. We have fun of Finex and all those. I've not met BC in person. Fantastic woman, but that relationship has been established online, right? Ifwa, I just spoke to Ifwa. I haven't met Ifwa in person, but I relate to Ifwa like a sister. So
I was thinking you were not going to mention my name, like I'll say it myself.
Right. So all these people I've not met in person, but the kind of relationship we create, even virtually, is like in person, right? So I will not choose for you. If you want to do in person, come. If you want to do online, it's the same experience, right? What we don't do is that on the first day we share our camera, on the last day we share our camera, so that we get to know ourselves, where we work and all those things, right? Now, I think the next question, let me just chip this in. The classroom, how you will learn online. It's very important. So those in queue, please pardon me. Let me check this in. It's probably an answer to the question you're going to ask. So if you're learning online, after this session, we are going to send you a code, right? So there's a class code. So we have your schedule of commitments, and then we'll send you codes to join. So if you are doing Power BI and Excel, you receive 2 codes, one for Power BI, one for Excel, right? Now, you will join your classroom. So the typical classroom setting is like this. So this is the last season. We call it Bootcamp Edition. Okay. So when you go into your classroom, you see 3 tabs: stream, classwork, and people, right? So under stream, this is where you ask your questions. So you see somebody has posted his question. In between classes, if you have questions, you can post them here. It comes to our emails, and then we'll answer them. Okay. If you have any announcement for the class, we post them here. So as long as you are in the classroom, you'll get notification on anything that we are doing in class. Anytime it's time for your class, you log in and then you click on this button, join. So you don't have to worry about links. Once you're in the classroom, this is the button you use to join live meetings. So when it's 9 a.m., you just come here, you click join, and then you're live. It's that simple. So you log in one time and bookmark the classroom, and this is what you're going to be using throughout the season, right? Then the second tab is classwork. So under classwork, you have topic 1 or topic 0. So this video that we have created together, we are going to post it in your various classrooms. So the orientation video is going to be here, right? Then your next meeting is topic 1. Now, what we'll do is that when we do topic 1, it's like back and forth question answer while we teach. You share your screen and all those things. We record that and then we would post it in the classroom. Okay, so you have lifetime access to these videos. Okay, so you see the videos and then all the resources for each topic serialized, topic by topic, all the way to your last topic, including any extra resources that we give you, right? So those who are doing Power BI, in the end, we'll show you how to write a PL300 exam. It's a global Microsoft exam for those who want to specialize in Power BI. So the Microsoft Data Analyst program with Power BI. If you get that certification, you show up anywhere, everybody knows you're okay, right? So in the end, while you get certificates, we'll show you how to get this exam done as well, right? And then the third tab is where you see your classmates. Okay, so your facilitators are here, and then you see all your classmates here. So for those who are doing online, this is your classroom. Those who are doing in person too, you get access to this classroom just because of resources, right? But the online people will be creating your content for you while you are learning in person as well. So I have to chip that in. So after this preview class, for those who have signed up and committed, we'll send you codes to join your various classrooms, and then we'll meet on Monday or next week Saturday to begin class. That's the timetable. Please, are we okay with that? Okay, so I'll take Alex. Alex, please go ahead.
Hi everyone. Ben, when is the next Power BI session?
So the next one after this one, honestly, we don't have a date yet. Because there are a lot of programs in the year. So we actually know there will be something before the end of the year, but we don't have a date yet. So what we have is what we have now.
Okay, all right. I wanted to see those of us who are money no rich to do all the two at one go. If I can plan for a subsequent one. Anyway,
very smart question. Very smart question from Felix. I want to do Excel first and then do Power BI.
I mean, truth is that you can do that, but we've also, what we normally see is that a large majority, right? Majority of the people who sign up in the season do those. The truth is that it's not overwhelming, right?
Okay.
It's not overwhelming at all. So,
I think it's about the money.
As for the money, you know, we've even given you a discount already. So if you want an arrangement, we can have an arrangement. You split into two and all those things. So money should not be a constraint, right? And it's not overwhelming.
All right. Okay.
So if you want to sign up for the two,
I was worried about the overwhelming part. I want to run the weekday, Monday to Thursday. Some days the office might just stretch you up.
You'll be fine. I know your capacity, man. You should be able to.
All right, we'll squeeze it in.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right, thanks.
So please, yeah, you can do the two comfortably. You won't go around at all. Dennis, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Bernard. I heard you talking about coming in with your blank computers. You know, I've been walking around with my MacBook only to realize that, in fact, it wouldn't be able to access the Power BI because I have to get something new or something much upgraded. So, could you clarify on that? I mean, just any PC, is it that any PC can work?
I mean, it will say your accent. Mark there. In the Microsoft space,
Mhm.
Mac is not up to scratch yet.
Okay.
The reason is that one, Power BI desktop is not available in Mac. But one student who joined us in season 7 had the workaround. So he was a Mac student and he had a way to bring in the Windows environment into Mac, so that they say there's a software called Parallel. So if you install that, you get the Windows environment and then you can work like you are working in Windows. So for those who have Mac and you have no option, if you have an option, that would be good. But if you have no option, reach out to me. I will link you up with Nana. He sorted us out on several occasions. So he would probably guide you on how to install what software so that you can use the Windows environment. Yeah. So there's a way out. But if you have an option, you prefer Windows, an i5 laptop will be ideal.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. So I see, Tony, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, and I think you've answered some of the questions, but then I would say testimony. I mean, you remember I invited you to Tema to train my guys, and testimony. I think they really enjoyed it. So yeah, as for you, any day I would recommend you to anybody. I'm happy to see an old friend of mine all the way from Obuasi, J, also joined. So I can see you.
Okay.
And I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. But let me ask, the Power BI, I was thinking, my cash flow analysis, is it going to simplify it for me using Power BI? Cash flow
Okay, so
let's say, yeah.
Yes. Yes. So yes, it is possible. Now, the reason I'm saying it's possible is that what you would learn is the foundations. As for the application, there are a lot of things you can do with Power BI. If I want to go to the Power BI playlist, we have done an income statement version already. So we have this income statement version that we created in Power BI. We'll be following this up with balance sheet and cash flow. We haven't done the video yet, but what I encourage people to come and do is learn the foundation. Then when you go back to the office, whatever you want to apply it to, we'll give you some guidance on how to apply it. So yes, it is possible to create cash flow projections or reports in Power BI. Same way you can do income statements, same way you can do balance sheets, right? It is possible, but let's get the foundation first, and then we'll create the report from there. So I can share the income statement version with you so that you get an idea how we did that. I'll put it in the chat. Okay. So, Tony, is that okay?
Yeah, I was actually looking at like having a daily, almost daily, or a live data on cash overview. You see, using Power BI, you're able to monitor your cash flow position situation.
Yes.
But yeah,
Honestly.
I think we'll get there. Looking at it, I think we can do something with it.
So what I encourage you to do is, as we learn, is one side project you can be doing on the side. Okay, so if you learn ETL, then you apply it. You learn data modeling, you apply it. Right? We've had cases like that. So there's one lady, Cynthia, who in the previous class, as we were doing the HR report, she was building her own HR dashboard. And by the time we were done, she had created something. Right? So as for the application, I will leave it to you, but let's get the foundation first.
All right.
By the way, Kwesi J is also my mate from Opokuare. So
Oh, one word.
And it's up.
And then it's two, yes. So that's about Finex. The connection part is very solid. So you meet faces that you know. Okay, I'll take Folake. Hi, Folake, please go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, Folake, we can hear you.
Hello. Sorry, I was just trying to my sister sent me the link, but I didn't see it, so I've just seen it now. I'm just kind of interested. How would I find out more about what this course entails? And things like that. I don't want to take too much of your time up.
Okay, that's fine. So kindly reach out to me on WhatsApp. There's a number on the brochure he sent to you. Otherwise, you can take this number and then reach out to me. I'll share all the details with you.
Okay, my sister's busy, by the way, if you know her.
Yes, I know her very well.
Okay.
Yeah, I know her very well. So please reach out to me on WhatsApp and let me share the details with you.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
before a quick question as well. Is the course only on Saturday?
It's on weekdays as well. So you can join us on weekdays, 6 to 8 p.m., Monday to Thursday, depending on the module you are doing. So Monday, Tuesday, Excel,
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday, Power BI. Yes. So weekdays are available as well.
Okay, but it's the weekdays are 6 to 8 on weekdays. Are you
6 to
saying?
8 p.m. Yes. Yes. GMT.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. So again, it's not restricted to only Ghanaians. We have people joining us from US, Canada, UK. We have our Nigerian brothers here as well. So for us, that's why the online is also important, so that we can extend the value outside Ghana as well. So thank you for okay. Richard, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. My question is, assuming I've signed up for the virtual and then maybe the first day it didn't go very well for me for the virtual, can I change to in person? And then the second question is maybe I didn't get it well during the weekdays. Since I've signed up, can I still join the weekends or the Saturday class? Yeah, that's my question.
Okay, so I mentioned that you are in a weekday track. You can switch in between in person and online because they will always be at the same place, right? We make that flexibility for you. We give you that flexibility. However, the challenge with switching to the Saturday class is that their pace or their outline is different, right? They may achieve 1.5, but the weekday would achieve 1 on day 1, right? If you don't have a problem with that, yes, that's fine. But what we encourage you to do is you can switch online in person for weekday or Saturday. Those are the two options. But if you really have to come to Saturday, then expect that maybe they will either be a little ahead or a little behind. But other than that, all the resources will be available in the classroom for you to fill the gaps. Is that okay?
Yeah, but my question is, I sign up for weekdays, and then I've attended all the 2 classes in the weekdays, and I still want to join the Saturday class. Is it okay? Is it accepted? Is it acceptable?
Okay. The truth is that if the class is not full, we can accommodate you. Okay. So
Okay.
if the class is not full, we can accommodate you. Maybe you want to hear it a second time so that it stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the class is not full, we can accommodate you. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So I'll take the last 2 questions and then I guess we can round up. I have Victor and Gershon. So I'll take Victor first and then I'll go to Gershon.
Hi, yes, good morning. I joined so not long ago. My friend sent me the link. I want to find out, so what's the duration? I mean, if you are doing both the BI and the Excel, either weekday or the weekend, what's the duration and what's the total amount involved? Thank you.
Okay, so if you are doing the Saturday, you do 5 Saturdays, right? So we are not counting today. So 5 sessions. That's the duration for the Saturday program, 5 Saturdays. So just like a month and 1 week. Okay. And then if you are doing the weekday program, it's twice a week for 4 weeks. That's also about a month. Right. So for weekday, twice a week, 4 weeks. For Saturdays, 5 Saturdays. Okay. I know this sounds 5, this sounds 4, but we all achieve the same thing together. Right. So that is the duration. Twice a week for 4 weeks, and then 5 Saturdays for the Saturdays. Is that okay? Now the cost, if you are doing 1, it's 1,500. If you are doing 2, instead of 3,000, you pay 2,500. So that's the cost. That's the cost for 1 or 2. Victor, is that okay?
Yes. So maybe a follow-up question on that. So, okay, so I have an office machine, but I'm not sure the office machine, I'll be allowed to install the BR unless maybe I have the right permission. So I have a personal machine, but it's a Windows machine, but it's not so high. I don't know whether it can still accommodate for the BI.
The truth is that it's easier for you because Power BI is a bit heavy in terms of the RAMs it uses. So it will be easier if you turn up with at least an i5. If you get an i7, all the better. But an i5 will be easier because the software is heavy. It has a lot of graphics and all that. Right. So it will help if you come with like a laptop that has a lot of space and processing power. At least an i5 will be ideal so that you're not left behind. So maybe you can talk to the IT guy to give you an exception to install. I mean, Power BI is not a harmful software. So we can talk to him and see if either he installs for you so that you come to class with it, or you get a laptop that has at least an i5. Right.
Sure. Thank you.
I'll take Gershon. I know. Yes. So Gershon, you go, and then I'll go to our old students. Some of them are here. So Gershon, let's take your last question, and then some of our old students have raised their hands. I don't know what they want to say, but Gershon, please go ahead.
All right, thank you. Please, my question is, a program like this, you said it's a kind of a workshop style. So I want to confirm, if you can elaborate, do you have exercises, practical hands-on exercises, aside what will be done in the class, maybe take home kind of exercises, mini projects, if I can say that will keep us busy working on things and, getting results where we can be getting your corrections or like recommendations on how to improve and make it better and such things. So that's my first question. Then the second one is it okay for somebody to run Windows on a virtual machine, such that assuming the person is running Linux on the person's host machine, okay, but he needs to take this course and would need to have Excel running. So is it okay to run, like to do the course on a virtual machine? Is it fine? Is it going to work properly? Have you had such an experience? That's my second question. Thank you.
Okay, so question 1, yes. In between classes, that's why we have the classroom. So in fact, in the classroom, we give assignments. You probably didn't see the assignments, but we give assignments in between classes. Sometimes, if there are days, we give midterm projects and all those things, right? So to answer the question, you have hands-on exercises to do in class and then outside classroom before you come. Please, it's important you meet us halfway with these exercises so that you can get the best out of this. Some people will not do the assignments. I mean, we won't cane you or won't make you kneel down, but because we invested some time and resource in this, we expect you to meet us halfway to get the objective checked, right? So that's question number 1. Question number 2, honest, we have not had any experience with virtual environments, but I will think it's possible. What I've mentioned was the installation of Windows in Mac, which Nana helped us with. But it's something we can demo. Maybe you can pass by one of the days and then we'll set it up and see. But I should think it's possible. I don't have the answers now, but you pass by, let's test what you have and see if it will work. Okay?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, so that will be the last question. Freddie is sharing the screen. Now I'll go to our old students. Please, all the questions that you have, please feel free and reach out to us after the class on WhatsApp or email. We'll be happy to. Okay. So before I take our old students, Freddie, I don't know if you have something to say quickly before, and then we'll round up. Freddie, share your screen. Freddie?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. So I was saying that for those who join the Excel for Work class, so we have this workbook, and as Bernard said, okay, we have here under the cover the note gallery. So these ones are links. So when you click on this link, it takes you to the various notes that we've compiled. So the first one here, you can download the Finex Excel notes. So when you click on this link here, it will download a PDF for you. And the other ones, so here, Introduction to Excel, when you click on that, it takes you to this page where you can read and learn for yourself. Okay, you can read and learn for yourself. You can go to to the next one. You can also read some of the topics and all that. So let me come back to the cover page. And apart from the note, we also do have the video gallery. So the video gallery, when I come here, so these are the 12 topics that Bernard showed you on the YouTube channel. So if you are lost, you can come to this very page and click on any of the topic that you want to learn, and you can learn that as well. And apart from the videos as well, we also have assignment gallery. So you click on the assignments. We just compile just some few assignments. So the first one, for example, sales data, how to analyze those ones. We have an interesting one here. That's the budget. So when you click here, so with the budget, this one is a challenge for you to do it under 20 minutes. And if you're not able to do that under 20 minutes, you can just click on this button. So when you click on this button, it will take you to the YouTube channel, and it will show you how to do this one under 5 minutes. All right. So you have all this, for you to learn. So there's no excuse for you not to learn. So you have all this for you to learn. So this is what I wanted to show, those who are joining the Excel class.
Okay, so thank you, Freddie. You see, when people ask for things in notes or exercise in Finex, you have to be careful because you'll be overwhelmed. As for exercises, there are plenty. So if you can meet us halfway, you will enjoy the learning. Now, I'm going to round up with our old students. There are a lot of them here. I see Dio. Dio is currently in Canada, joining us. I see Divine. I see JB. So Dio and Divine, I see your hands are up. I don't know if you have questions or comments, and then we'll round up.
Yes, hi, Bernard.
So,
Okay,
yes, Dio.
Okay.
Dio, you can go first.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Bernard and team. So I'm a Finex alumnus, currently in Ottawa, Canada, and I just jumped out of bed this morning. It's around 6:32 here to catch, some snippets of this session. It's been very useful in my career, and of course, I'm trying to make time to still develop my skills and consolidate whatever I learn to add value to my workplace. So I will encourage everyone to really invest their best into it. So I'll be following up with you and Freddie for the rest as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, thanks, and I wish everyone a good journey on it.
Fantastic. Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you, Dio. Yeah. We appreciate the time, waking up early in Canada to join us. And the thing about Finex is that it's continuous learning. All our old students, in fact, I mentioned the case of BC, Yvonne, Kwame Sapong, Divine. This will be rounding up soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So please, I think enough said. What we'll be doing is that we'll be Divine. I saw your hand, but I know you have a lot of goodies to tell us. But because of time, I think we would like to round up. And then I was mentioning the fact that when you join Finex, you're part of a community, right? Our community is very vibrant, right? We have fun, we talk about things, we discuss issues and all that. In fact, for those joining us at the training hub at East Legon, I'd like to commend our students, our alumni. They sponsored the chairs and tables that are in the classroom, right? So it's that kind of community that we build here. It's not just learning Excel, but there's a connection part to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please link up. We'll share the classroom codes on Sunday. So if you are not yet committed, please reach out and let us know. If you have any challenge too, you can always reach out and then we'll have a discussion. All right. Otherwise, we appreciate your time. Thank you. Apologies for the hitches. We'll try and fix whatever it is in the course of the week. Ellen, okay. So Helen, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
You.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of something.
Yes.
Thank you.
Helen, please go ahead.
I'm looking forward to talking to you guys and joining up again. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. So Helen is our other UK active pillar in Finex. So DC, Ellen, and all the UK people, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And for the rest of us here. So if you have any questions, please reach out. For those who came in person, if you are here, we'll go about the installations today. Those online to reach out to you to get the installations done before your first class. Right. If there are any questions, please reach out. The WhatsApp number is 0244 782356. So any member of the team will be happy to assist you. Okay, so thank you and have a good weekend. We'll make this recording available on our YouTube and share with you as well.
Okay, thank you, Bernard.
Thank you, Bernard and team.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bernard and team.
Thanks, Bernard and team.
Thank you. Thank you, Bernard. Much appreciated.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Bernard. Wow.